folks. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the TR Schools TV Game of the Week, presented by the TRE. I'm Casey Kennerkowski with Joey Del Deo and Eddie Wolf. Tonight we're coming to you from the Pine Belt Arena, and our matchup features the 15-1 Toms River North Mariners taking on the 3-9 Toms River East Raiders. Now, Eddie, no question that Coach Jim Dempsey's squad is the heavy underdog tonight. How do they somehow pull an upset?
Well, Casey, the first thing that the East Raiders, they're going to have to do is they're going to have to survive the first quarter. Now, I know that sounds a little harsh, but the last time these two teams faced off, North, they were leading 32-6 after the first quarter. So East, it's going to have to be critical for them to get off to a fast start. That doesn't mean that they turn this into a track meet, though. North, they're going to have the speed advantage. That means that the Raiders, they're going to have to be very consistent being able to get the rebounds, creating steals, and getting turnovers. Also look out for a strong game from Zaire Dorn. We got to see a lot of him last year as the strong six-man, and now he's going to be the real leader this year.
Yeah, absolutely. They pulled off the upset against Toms River South the other night. And Joey, what about Toms River North? They've been firing on all cylinders so far this season. How do they keep that rolling tonight?
Well, the Mariners have two keys to victory tonight, Casey. The first key is to get back to the basics. On Tuesday night, Southern really exposed North defensively. They'll try to put a lot of pressure on East guards in hopes of creating turnovers. And secondly, they need to drive and kick. It's what makes North almost unstoppable. Carrington or Roden driving and dishing to Neister or Petrick for open threes. If they get rolling, it can be an early night for East. And of course, they have their X factor. That's number 14, Mike Neister. He's an experienced but streaky player. And last time we were here, he had a season-high 5 three-pointers. If he does that tonight, it'll be a blowout city, baby.
Yeah, he's been one of those players who's been up and down all season, Eddie.
Yeah, really, it was one of those players that's up and down. And you just gonna have to see what happens.
Yep, tonight here we've got Toms River East in their road black uniforms. Toms River North in their home white. Looks like we're gonna have Travis Holland, number 33. Going for the tip for the Mariners, and for Toms River East, it's going to be Nick Sylvia, number 22. And the tip is controlled by Toms River North. We're underway. Looks like he's going a man-to-man here. Good cut by Roden, gets to the basket, can't finish. Strong rebound there by Sylvia.
That could have been the absolute perfect way to start this game off. Roden unable to finish off on that play, though.
Goodall, a little give and go to Sylvia for the first bucket of the game, and the Raiders are up 2-0.
Nick Sylvia, he's another player that's going to have to come up very major. He's the Mr. Clutch of this team. You already see him getting a rebound and 2 points.
Carrington finishing at the bucket to tie it up at 2. Very fast-paced opening minute here.
Yeah, fast-paced, that's an understatement. You saw a lot of hard passes all over the court. Definitely would have gotten East off guard. Definitely got us off guard. I wasn't sure where to look on that one.
That time here, a travel on Toms River East. And like you were saying there, Joey, that's exactly what they want to do here, speed the game up.
And for East, they're going to have to really be able to make sure that they make no mistakes. They want to slow this game down because North, they're going to be the fastest team. They have the size, they have the strength, they have the speed. East, they're going to have to play a little bit more small ball to win this one.
Three-pointer by Petrick on the way, no good. Rebound to Carrington, who puts it off glass. (4-2) after the opening minute here in the first quarter between Toms River East and Toms River North. That three long by Goodall. Roden, nobody covered him for a minute there. Fortunate that North decides to set it up outside. Carrington over to Holland, to the corner to Neister. That was contested, but Petrick coming from the backside, and then for the second possession in a row, Toms River North getting a second chance opportunity.
And North making it look easy out there, and East, they're clearly struggling so far getting to the board. So that's something that you're going to see some of their bigger men, Nick Sylvia, getting under there.
Right there, foul on Toms River North. That looked like it was on Holden Petrick, number 3. First foul of the game here at the 6:19 mark.
Back to the height, Toms River North, they have 3 inches on Toms River East. Toms River North averaging at 6'3", East at 6.
Three-pointer by Dorn here. He thought that one was short. I don't know if you saw the expression on his face, fellas, here, but it looked like he was going to have to go in there and try to get a rebound, but it goes for the Raiders, and they pull to within one here, 6-5, as we've got a timeout on the court.
And no matter how crazy that play was, Zaire Dorn, he's not complaining. He got the 3 points. But Zaire Dorn, he's one of the more three-point oriented players on this team, so North's gonna have to watch out for him.
And of course, with the Raiders, the biggest question mark was going to be how will they fare this season without star senior guard Phil Lingat. Players like Zaire Dorn have really stepped up, and he's become the true three-point shooter of this team with Lingat off the court for this season.
Yeah, of course, he had an injury in the offseason. They were hoping to get him back for the end of the year, but looks like that's not going to happen. But a lot of young players for this Raiders team, and they're hanging with Toms River North early on. Petrick for three. Can he get another? There you go. Holden Petrick with a three-pointer. 9-5.
North moving the ball around perfectly. East, they're just struggling to stay with North so far.
Time almost a walk by Shortino. He'll set it up at the top. Little 2-3 zone here for Toms River North. Working the ball around, stolen away by Holland. Gets it up to Neister, who goes up with the right hand and finishes hard at the bucket. Timeout here by Coach Jim Dempsey at the 5:05 mark. His team down 11-5. And so, fellas, you look at this rivalry. The last 14 meetings have gone to Toms River North. One of the more impressive stats when you dig into the history of this series here is that Coach Caswell has been around. This is his 6th season. He's a combined 23-2 against Toms River South and Toms River East. Perfect 12-0 against Toms River East. Just one of the things that has to surprise you. I mean, we know Toms River North's been so good the last couple of years, but usually rivalry games are a little bit more competitive.
Well, that's no accident, Casey. That just shows what type of preparation, what type of coaching the Mariners have. And you know, coming into any week, that if you're coming here to the Pine Belt Arena, or if you see that you're facing North on the calendar, you know you're going to have to put in extra preparation and extra work in practice, because Coach Caswell's team, regardless of who they're playing, on any given day, they're going to put in 110% effort out there.
That time stolen away, then stolen back. Goodall came up with it. You always know the football player, right? The quarterback's going to get the ball. Dorn up top to Sylvia. Sylvia guarded by Roden, flips it back over to Dorn. East trying to run the motion offense. As North's come out in a man-to-man defense out of the timeout. That one will go for number 4, Nick Shortino, the junior. And he'll earn a trip to the free throw line to try to convert the three-point play.
And North, their Achilles heel is them fouling too much. And East, they're going to have to be able to abuse the fact that North, they're going to foul you a lot. So East, if they're making their shots at the free throw line, this game can be a little closer than you might think.
And Shortino listens to you there, Eddie, and converts on it. Mariner lead down to 3, 11-8, halfway through this opening quarter. Holland driving baseline, flipped it over there to Husney, who's checked in the game. Nice bullet pass inside to Roden from Carrington, and he finishes to move the lead back up to 5.
He's been getting passing training from Husney on the side. Clearly it worked out there for Carrington.
Little one-handed there. Tell you what though, Eddie, East is being very patient here against this North defense.
Yeah, well, you can't be forcing shots. You have to wait for your shot to be there. And when there's no shot clock, you can wait as long as you want.
That one out of bounds off of Toms River East, goes to the Mariners.
Yeah, and being patient, that's not always a bad mentality heading into a drive, but right now you're down 13-8 against the High School North Mariners. And you know that if you're down, you have to play with some sort of aggression. So what they need to do is sort of find that happy medium of aggression and patience, run the clock down, and also try to force those shots and get ahead.
Three-pointer by Mike Neister from the short corner. And the Mariners have doubled up the Raiders, 16-8. Full court pressure, handled well by the Raiders. Driving in, blocked by Dax. North running with it. Husney for three. Long rebound, one hand by Mike Neister, who puts it up and in. Lead is now swelled to 10, 18-8. Just under 3 minutes to go, opening quarter.
And North making plays like those seem so easy.
Gets out of it, stolen away by Toms River North. Husney gets into a jump ball situation with Shortino, and the possession will go over to the Raiders.
So Joey, you're seeing the full court pressure from North, and it's being really successful so far. What do the East Raiders have to do to work around this full court pressure?
Well, Eddie, what they need to do is they need to try to find a way to fight through the pressure. Move the ball around a lot like we saw North doing before. They were throwing it all over the court, and East didn't have no idea where the ball was going. If East can find the connection and find a way to do that and get North off their heels, it'd be a great way to avoid the pressure here.
Dorn driving baseline, fouled hard by Husney, and he'll earn a trip to the free throw line. All three team fouls against Toms River North tonight. Probably the only thing going against them.
And Zaire Dorr, one of the better free throw shooters on the East Raider team, so they're definitely happy that he's on the line right now. And I may have spoken a little too soon as he misses the first one.
Converts on the second. 18-9 in favor of the Mariners. Carrington and Husney passing it back and forth, gets it over the date line. Shordino went down to the floor. Three-pointer there by number 15. That's Sean O'Donnell, is short. Gets a rebound. We'll have another tie-up, and the possession will stay with Toms River North.
That was a very good heads-up play there by the senior, Sean O'Donnell. Missed the three-pointer, was able to still get into the paint and collect a rebound and give possession back to North. And you see right there from Carrington, it definitely worked in their favor.
All those second chance opportunities, extra possessions here beginning to bite Toms River East early. As it's now 20-9 in favor of the Mariners. Almost a walk there by Shortino, gets away with it. Ball on the ground. Allender ends up getting it and putting it up. Draws the foul. Allender, one of the juniors on this squad, 5'10", kind of a hybrid player between a guard and a forward. And he gets the shooter's roll on that one.
And this East team, very junior heavy. The majority of this team last year played for Rick Weber's JV team, as well as coming off the bench for the varsity team last year.
Yep. I was a team last year had 16 wins. This year just 3, but definitely a bright future for these guys. A lot of cross-court passing by Toms River North, working it inside to Roden, who puts it up off glass.
And that is an absolutely bold strategy to be able to throw it across the court on each and every pass of your possession. But you saw it worked out there. And they're
stolen away, a spin move by Roden. Finishes, and that causes Jim Dempsey to call another quick timeout. The 1 minute mark here in the first quarter. Mariners 24, Raiders 10.
You know, normally, Casey, I don't like being cut off when I'm in the middle of talking, especially about a beautiful play like that. But hey, I'll give Roden some credit on that one. Can't be too mad about a beautiful play like that.
Yeah, a little couple dance moves in there, a little dipsy-doo, dunkaroo there.
What number does that land on Sports Center's top 10?
Well, you know what? The other day here between Toms River South and Toms River East, there was a player, I think it was Silvio, had a dunk in that one in the 60-52 win for the Raiders. And we were remarking pregame there, Eddie, if East were to be able to win this one, it would probably be the best week maybe of all the sports at Toms River East so far this school year. Allender gets it across, trap, gets around it. Dorn driving in, left hand, can't finish, gets his own rebound, fighting with Husney. Coach Dempsey wanted a foul on that one. Can't believe there's no foul on that one, as Husney was right in his grill, but fortunate for Dorn to throw it off of Husney, and they'll retain possession.
That's as close as Mike Husney could have gotten without actually pushing the Raider out of bounds there. That was a very aggressive play. Very good heads-up play, though, by the Raider, throwing it off of Husney's legs. As
you can't say he doesn't hustle.
Definitely one of the hardest workers on the court. You want to watch out for a play like that, though, because you throw that up, that might go right into the wrong team's hand. You could have easy baskets.
Dorn with it in the corner, about 30 seconds left, blocked away by O'Donnell. Shot goes up there by Sylvia, no good. Carrington running with it on the opposite side. He gets fouled hard as he tried to dish out there to O'Donnell. Basket will not count. First team foul against the Raiders tonight with 22.8 to go. Officials talking to one of the players. Obviously, one of the players letting their frustration get the best of them there. O'Donnell coming off the curl for the three, can't finish. Roden comes down with it, goes right back up with it, and converts. 26-10 North. Let's see if East can maybe get a late basket here. Good hands by Holland. Even better hands there by Eddie. Eddie, do you have a year eligibility left?
I'm not really sure, Casey. You know, funny, last week this happened with Joey. Now it's my turn to get the ball. Watch out, Casey, you're next.
Dorn, let's see if he can finish with a three. Short, rebound, tied up for Husney, who throws it cross court. At the end of the first quarter, very explosive offensive quarter for Toms River North. They lead the Raiders 26-10.
Well, you saw the Mariners, like you say, came out of the gate firing on all cylinders, and it doesn't look like they're ready to stop yet. In a game that looks like the Mariners aren't playing as hot, you see they have 14 fouls. However, they have been passing the ball around a lot. They've been able to get East off their heels. Right now they have a 16-point lead. Very commanding game so far for the Mariners.
Yeah, speaking of our officials tonight here, Darren Bradley and James Lester, they've called a pretty clean game so far.
It's been a very good game so far. And for East, there's two major things they're going to have to do. One for offense and one for defense. On defense, they're going to have to be able to get these rebounds. North, they're getting to feed themselves the ball so much that they're going to eventually make it. And when you're just getting the ball right under the basket, they're just dropping it right in there. And then on offense, they have to try to avoid the trap. And that's very hard. You're just going to have to move the ball around a lot.
Raiders will start with the basketball here in the second quarter. That one's stolen away by Toms River North. Carrington with it ahead, and Dorn fouls him to prevent him from getting an easy bucket. Send Carrington for the free throws.
You know, around this time, last game when we were back here at the Pine Belt Arena, we were saying that after the first quarter, Mike Neister was the team's real star. We know he hit all those three-pointers, had a nice offensive and defensive game. So far today, that's Jaden Roden. He has 8 points on the night so far, collecting 2 rebounds and also a nice steal we just saw. So he's been showing that he has, like Neister last week, he's having a solid offensive and defensive game, and that's just what you need in any kind of week. You need to be able to produce on both ends of the court, and so far he's doing that tonight.
Carrington hit the first one. He's got one more. Can't convert the second one. We're going to get a lane violation, and he'll get another opportunity.
And the East Raider Nation showing up for this game, trying to get in the head, screaming hoo-ha. Something interesting when you see Raider Nation filling up all the stands.
Yep, there, Eddie, as Carrington converts on the extra one, so steals a point. And right there, turned over in the backcourt by Thompson Reese due to that tough pressure of the Mariners here, the full court press.
And North, even with an 18-point lead now on defense, they're not holding back at all. They're not playing conservative one bit. They want to come out here and be as aggressive as possible.
O'Donnell with the three from the short corner, and that lead is swelled to 31-10. Dorn gets it across to Allender. Trapped inside, Goodall pulls up and converts. Jack Goodall, the quarterback from the football team, converting on that one. Long pass to O'Donnell. Back to Roden. Really impressive passing tonight here by Townsville North. So in control. Right there, nice feed from Roden, right to Holland. Converting on the bucket, 35-12. About a minute gone by here in the second quarter. Dorn on the ground. Gets it out to Ryan Goodall. We're gonna get a foul on Townsville North.
East, that's how you really take advantage of the trap play. You force these fouls. They can keep doing that. You might even have to see the trap play go away if they get enough fouls.
Stolen away by O'Donnell in the backcourt. And then a nice play by Shortino, who just checked in the game, to knock it out of bounds. Those are just the types of things here that a young, inexperienced team does here, and they're learning from it. Inside, Neister saving it. Neister driving, kicks it out to Holland. Roden driving in, creating contact, no call. Rebound to Allender. Allender to Goodall. Flips over to Sylvia, who takes it strong, can't finish. Rebound to Roden. Roden to Neister, who can't finish. Shortino with the board. Gonna get a foul, reach-in foul on Townsville North.
Well, Casey, you mentioned a little bit earlier the youth movement that the East Raiders basketball team is going through. And coming into the season, they only had one true senior, and that was Phil Lingat. And as we all know, like we said, he did go down in the preseason, in the off-season rather. And so these juniors, who like Eddie mentioned, were on Coach Weber's JV team all last year, are now stepping into the limelight. And we've seen they've had their struggles going 3-9 heading into tonight. But like we've seen with the JV team earlier tonight and these young players, there's a ton of potential here for Coach Dempsey's team.
Nice finger roll layup by Carrington. Now 35-12. Stolen away by Carrington. Couldn't finish. Goodall passing to Goodall. Shortino up to Sylvia, who rushed it a bit. Rebound to Roden. We got a track meet going on indoors at the Pine Belt Arena. Finishes off strong at the bucket. Be Darian Carrington. And another timeout here for Jim Dempsey.
And East, they're not being able to capitalize off of their fast breaks, and North, they're being able to capitalize off their fast breaks. And that's the big difference in this game. North, they're getting a lot of really easy fast breaks as well. Wide open, they're getting steals, before East can even cross the ball over to the other side of the court, North, they're all over East. They're going to have to try to change something up. Joey, what would East change to try to get back into this?
Well, Eddie, there's a lot that they need to change. Like you mentioned with the steals. So far, the Mariners, with 4:59 left in the second quarter, have 6 total team steals. And it's not just one guy who's doing it. It's their entire 5 on the court contributing defensively. We're also seeing a lot of offensive rebounds for the Mariners. So what the Raiders need to do is start playing better defense and also try to, shorten up that amount of steals. Because even those little things, even one big play there or one little play here, those plays, no matter what size they are, will be crucial. And we've seen that so far tonight.
For Toms River High School East, this was going to be a challenging game going into this. Toms River North, right now, they're 15-1, and they're ranked 5th in the Shore Sports Network top 10 as of January 23rd. So this is a big hurdle for East.
Yeah, just a really, really high-quality team, as you're saying, Eddie. Is Toms River North as they foul. That's number 24, Brad Brush. Another one of the juniors who played JV last year.
East trying to counter the size of North. Brad Brush coming in. Another one of the big men that they could put in, Alex Dunn, another junior, who's 6'1".
Looks like Dorn's going to check back in the game for Jack Goodall. Second one is true by Brush. 37-13, 4:40 to go here in the first half. Petrick not holding back. He steps into a 3. Holden Petrick with another 3 tonight.
I guess you could really say Holden wasn't holding back there. You led me right up to that one, Casey.
That one lost out of bounds by Ryan Goodall, the freshman.
I swear, you guys say I make the bad puns. I think you guys are a little worse than me this year. I don't know. We'll let the viewers decide on that one.
Hey, we've been saving it all up for this year, 2017. 40-13 in favor of Toms River North. And right now, East trying to just force a couple turnovers. Petrick, can he get 2 in a row? Yes, he can. This time from the short corner. 43-13, kick ball out of bounds off of Husney. And it's one of the things when you get a little bit more aggressive defensively, you start to leave some of those perimeter shooters open. And we've seen with Toms River North all season, you just can't do that. Dorn's 3 off, rebound to Roden. Petrick for 3 in a row. Can't get it. But again, another possession here for Toms River North. Petrick will set it up, guarded by Goodall. Driving right, pulls up from the elbow extended. Rebound to Toms River East and a foul on the Mariners with 3:23 to go here.
High School North definitely loves to shoot from behind the arc. They're on average shooting 5.6 three-pointers made heading into tonight's game. So far, their main three-point shooter, Mike Neister, only 1 for 2 from behind the arc. And their main shooter has been Holden Petrick, who is 3 for 5 so far tonight.
One-on-one opportunity there for Zaire Dorn as he converts on the first. And really, Dorn's kind of taken on that leadership role here in the absence of Lingap, as he hits the second one as well.
Dorn certainly has, Casey. But Dorn's also now 3 for 4 at the night at the free throw line.
43-15, Toms River North. So now they're starting to work a little bit more clock here. Inside to Dax, flips it over to O'Donnell. Can't get it, tipped up by Husney. That was over a Raider defender and with the left hand.
And North doing a play like that a few times now, and that's just showing how East, they're struggling to get rebounds.
Shordino with it. He'll set it up. North going back to the 2-3 zone. Good old Shordino. Over to Dorn. Have to get the ball in the middle there if they want to attack it. They do, but Brush can't hold it. Now Roden with the fast break. He goes in, he lost it. Ball still on the ground. Brush makes up for it there by getting the loose ball. Now East running with it. Dorn gets fouled hard as he goes right to the bucket, and he'll return to the free throw line.
Dorn could really help the score right now, getting East back into this.
Can't convert on the first one, as we'll see Jaden Roden take a seat on the bench. He'll get a breather. Mike Neister checking back in the game. He's trying to press him a bit. Husney thought about it, flips it over to Neister, and he converts.
If you guys are going to make puns, I'm going to make a pun. A very nice one from Neister.
You know, I could have figured that was coming at some point this season. Three-pointer short. Rebound to O'Donnell, gets fouled in the backcourt by Ryan Goodall. Not really a bad foul there because East has a couple to give here in the last 90 seconds or so of the opening half. Coach Caswell going to sub out the big men here. Holland coming back for Dax. Stolen away here by number 42, Alex Dunn. Offensive foul. Nice charge taken there by number 3, Holden Petrick. He definitely had his feet set. We saw it from here.
You know, it was a good call by the refs there. Definitely a heads-up play there by the Mariners. But still, for the Raiders, the one silver lining that they've had so far in this half, and the one thing they can say they've been doing extremely well, is limiting their fouls. 4 fouls in the first half might seem like a lot to any other team, but when it's being compared to 9 fouls by the Mariners, you got to think, if there's one thing Coach Dempsey could be proud of, it's that.
Definitely pretty aggressive defense there. They leave Husney open in the short corner. And it'll be another second chance opportunity as Petrick tracks it down. Back out there to Holland for 3. Didn't think he had that in his repertoire. Out of bounds to Toms River East.
Well, you know, Casey, big men love to shoot threes too every now and then.
Well, especially over internationally, you think about Europe. European basketball here, they all shoot it.
What do you think about guys like Kristaps Porzingis for
Yeah.
the New York Knicks? He's a jack of all trades over there.
They definitely need him here, the Knicks. About 30 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Allender just checked in. Nice passing, Shordino for 3. And a little bright spot there for Nick Shordino. 48-18 in favor of Toms River North. O'Donnell changes that right away as the Mariners are up over 50, 51-18. About 3 seconds to go. Allender to close the half. Can't convert. And so at the end of the first half here from the Pine Belt Arena, it is all Toms River North. Mariners leading their crosstown rivals, the Raiders, 51-18. And fellas, I guess the question becomes, you know, what is it that Toms River North has done that has just made this such a wide deficit? for the Raiders?
How much time do I have to talk, Casey? This might go on for a while. They've been playing absolutely perfect basketball, offensively, defensively. Everything they've done so far tonight has been absolutely dominant, to say the least. Putting up over 50 points in the half, holding the Raiders to less than 20. The way that they've been shooting from behind the arc has been extremely impressive. The amount of rebounds that they've had, 15 so far. They've been getting a ton of steals too. Offensively, defensively, Coach Caswell, there's not much room for improvement for these guys. All I can say is limit the fouls. They had 9 in the first half. That's definitely something that you can improve on. But if that's the only thing that you need to work on heading into the second half, you got to be in a better than a good spot here for the Mariners.
Yeah, Coach Caswell, he's won 77% of his games here. I'm sure he's going to find something to complain about, kind of motivate his team for the second half. Eddie, what about Thompsonville East here? What is it that they can kind of talk about at halftime to work on coming out of the half?
The real thing is for East to remain calm. You saw at one point, East, one of the refs had to tell one of the East players to calm down a little, and you have a lot of high emotions. Nobody likes to come into a game, and you don't like to be going into the third quarter and the score is 51-18, and you're the one with the 18 points. East, they have to remain calm, even if they're not going to get every play going their way. North, they're just a superior team. East, they're going to have to really just take advantage of the fouls, stay calm. If they miss a shot, just keep playing. Don't let that get to them, because then if it's going to get to them, then they're going to play poor on defense, and it's going to go all downhill.
Yep, the second half is going to tell us a lot about both of these teams. So far headed in opposite directions, but again, East looking for the future, and Thompsonville North, of course, looking on towards the Shore Conference tournament and the states. We'll be back with the second half here on TR Schools TV in just a little bit, so stick around.
Assistant coach Riel Duress, escorted by our mascot, Salty.
crazy?
Yeah.
In the first game, they were.
I gotta go to you.
Welcome back to the TR Schools TV Game of the Week, presented by the TRE. Casey Kendrikowski with Joey Del Deo and Eddie Wolf. Toms River North and Toms River East here from the Pine Belt Arena. Mariners are up 51-18, and Joey, looks like the Mariners are going to start with the basketball. What do you think they're going to start to work on here in the second half?
Well, Casey, there's not really much else, like I said, heading into halftime that they need to work on. The 9 fouls was definitely their kryptonite, but so far 51 points in the first half doesn't look like it's been slowing them down. Now, we saw here at halftime the beautiful surprise proposal here by Salty, the North mascot. So Pine Belt Arena has already seen 1 ring in here tonight, and this is definitely a team that looks like they're preparing to add another ring at the end of the season.
North starting with the basketball. Eddie, what does Toms River East need to do here in the second half?
Like I said at the end of the second quarter, they have to remain calm. They can't make stupid plays, and if they mess up, they just have to keep playing. They can't let it get in their minds. They just have to play the game that they love.
Absolutely. Fast pace, just the way the game started. Ball knocked out of bounds here, and it'll stay with Toms River North.
You may want to see East get a little more aggressive on offense, though. Even though I said don't force shots, they might be waiting a little too much.
Goodall with a nice fake. And he gets fouled from behind. They're going to call it on Travis Holland, number 33. Dorn sets it up for the Raiders. Over to Shortino. Back to Dorn, guarded by Neister. A lot of dribbling here. Working the ball around the outside. Goodall over to Sylvia. To Allender for 3. That one long, nice, easy rebound for Neister.
That was a great job there by the Mariners playing shutdown defense. East was able to pass the ball around, but virtually had nowhere to go. Their one-shot opportunity when Allender got open, luckily for the Mariners, as if they needed any more luck, it missed. They were able to retain possession, and now they get the ball back closer to their basket.
Yes, Sylvia there looked like he put a hand up in the passing lane. Neister step back 3, and he's just so deadly at that. Mike Neister getting the first bucket here of the second half at the 6:35 mark.
It's pretty astonishing how whenever Neister throws the ball up and he makes it, it doesn't make a noise. It's almost like that old joke, if a tree falls in the woods, does anyone hear it? Well, if Mike Neister shoots a shot here at Pine Belt Arena, does anyone hear it? The answer is no, most of the time.
That's why God gave us eyes, I guess, right? So we could see it go in. Nice bucket going in there by Nick Sylvia. 54-20. Carrington will set up the offense for Toms River North. High ball screen with Roden. They get the switch. 3-pointer from the far corner by number 33, Travis Holland. There's the old European style of basketball. The big men getting involved in the perimeter game.
Even big men can have fun every once in a while.
Goodall picks up his dribble inside. Nice pass to Shordino. That one finally tracked down by Roden. They have numbers, 4-on-2. Carrington back to Roden, who can't finish, but he's fouled right at the bucket. And he'll go to the free throw line.
And this is only North as a team's second trip to the line. We saw Carrington had 3 opportunities before and hit 2 of the 3. This is Roden's first chance at the line tonight. Heading into tonight, he is their team's best free throw shooter. So if there's anybody Coach Caswell wants out there, it's definitely number 13.
That one short. Got a couple subs into the game. We're going to get number 43. That's going to be Mikey Goodall, the other freshman. Roden true on the second one. 58-20 here at the 5:20 mark, third quarter. Eddie East trying to attack here this zone.
East, they're trying to do something right now. Now trying to go out perimeter.
Nice hustle play. Goodall shot short. Rebound right into the waiting arms of Jaden Roden.
And East, they're getting some nice shots on there, just not landing.
They clear out for Petrick, trying to take Goodall with the right hand. Can't finish, chipped up by Neister, couldn't get it to go. Shortino lost it. O'Donnell with an easy layup, and he was trying to go in and dunk it. The whole bench rose like Moses parting the seas. Right up there for an easy layup, 60-20.
That definitely would have been bad if that ball rolled right out of the basket.
Shortino from the short corner. Rebound there to number 43, Mikey Goodall. Just checked in the game. There's Jack Goodall. Can't get the long two to go. And North not looking to slow down. Three-pointer from O'Donnell. He got hit. No call, and he buries the three through the contact. Stolen away by Carrington, playing a little defensive back there. Neister, long pass. Three-pointer from the far corner by Petrick, no good.
And you see Mikey Goodall getting some plays out there with the floater. He just missed that. He's
Almost
one of
had
the
a long pass to Carrington. Up to Roden, and he finishes.
great plays by North. Back on to Mikey Goodall, the freshman playing out with the big boys right now. He's definitely going to be one of the future key stars for these East Raiders, the Goodall family. They've been around for a while now. They're just going to keep coming.
You know, we saw earlier in the first half the electric passes that they were throwing across the court to each player. Mariners, they're continuing to do that here, those across the court passes, but they're putting up some electrifying plays. We saw the near dunk by Neister and what looked like it could have been an alley-oop there by the Mariners again. So right now, they don't care how many points they're ahead by, they're still going to dominate this game.
That one, Husney comes down with a three-pointer by O'Donnell. That's true. Sean O'Donnell with a real coming out party here tonight. The senior. He's had a couple threes here. Let's check the stat line. How many threes does O'Donnell have?
Well, Casey, so far tonight, O'Donnell is 4 for 7 from behind the arc. Total of 12 points, second on the team so far.
Yeah, very impressive athlete who's been a sub the last couple years, but again, rising to the occasion in a rivalry game. That one knocked out of bounds, and it will go over to Toms River North as we'll get a couple subs in. As Coach Caswell, we saw the last time against Toms River South, he looked to clear his bench, played all 16. Yes, 16 players on the varsity roster.
Well, you got to imagine, they're up by 48 now, still 2:20 left in the third quarter. At what point do we see those JV guys get to take a step up and get a crack at the Raiders? You got to imagine not too much longer if you're Coach Caswell.
It helps getting a lot of these JV players out there. You get some experience that they really do need, because one day they're going to be playing full-time on the court. And Coach Caswell, he's going to want these JV guys to be able to make sure that the next line of JV players can come on. It's a cycle, and it's been working for Coach Caswell, and he's not going to end it anytime soon.
That one, nice take inside by Brush. He's fouled by Dunsack. Number 42, the sophomore, 6'5" forward who just checked in the game for the Mariners. $1:55 to go here in the third quarter. Toms River North 68. Toms River East 20.
Rush 2 for 2 so far on the day, so he's looking to repeat what he's done already.
And Brush true on the first one.
And you mentioned sophomore Nick Dunshak coming in. We saw a lot of him, like we mentioned last week, when Coach Caswell was ready to clear the bench and bring in his JV squad. There you see right there, Dunshak with a nice rebound. Last week we saw from the free throw line, he definitely excelled and showed that he can perform at the varsity level. So it's a good job to be able to get some experience here, even in a blowout like this.
Husney driving in left hand, can't finish. Rebound to Dax, who puts it up through contact and gets the foul. Nice strong offensive rebound and put back by Elliot Dax. He's a junior, 6'7", tallest player on the court. And he earns a trip to the free throw line.
He definitely uses that height to his advantage, especially in the paint when you can have a true big man like Elliot Dax. Only being a junior next year as a senior, if the Mariners want, they can fully employ him as that center of the team. Not many high schools can say they have that true big man, but right now, Mariners are blessed with that opportunity next season.
71-21 as Dax converts the three-point play. East working the ball around the outside. Finally get it in the middle. Over to Dorn for the three. That's long. Rebound to Petrick. Crosses with 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. North will slow it down. Looking to drive there. Of course, as I say, slow it down. They drive in. And Travis Holland will go to the free throw line.
Travis Holland's had a nice game so far tonight. 5 points total with two rebounds, 2 steals, and now his 6th point. 1 for 1 from the free throw line so far.
Second one true as well, 73-21. Now number 43, Mikey Goodall, will run the point. That one, nice hands in a passing lane by O'Donnell to knock it out of bounds. Looks like Coach Dempsey here, Eddie's going with a couple of the younger guys here. Mikey Goodall, number 43. Got Alex Dunn there, a junior.
Well, the two real positives in this is, one, you have some fresh faces that North, Coach Caswell, he might not know what's coming. And two, right now, nothing's really working, so sometimes you gotta try new things.
Get a little fresh blood in there. 20 seconds to go. Petrick has it at the top. Looks like a high ball screen coming. They get the switch. O'Donnell cross court to Holland. Back to O'Donnell for 3. And like everything else tonight, it goes for Toms River North. And that's how the third quarter will end, with yet another three-pointer from the Mariners, as they now have a 76-21 lead going into the fourth.
For the Mariners, they have 8 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter to beat their record this season for the most points scored in a game. This season, their highest total at the end of the game, 85 points. Who was their opponent in that game? Toms River High School East. So they're able to repeat history here throughout the season and add to that total. Now, Casey, you got to ask, you have a huge lead like this. Do you play more conservative, maybe bring in more bench guys if you're Coach Caswell? Or do you make a statement against your in-town rival and go for that nice triple-digit 100 mark?
Well, knowing Coach Caswell, I think what we've seen and why he's been able to be so successful over his first 5 years now into his 6th is because he builds a program up. And the only way to do that is to get some of the younger guys into varsity situations just like this one. And I'm sure that he's going to empty his bench here after maybe giving the starters like Roden maybe a minute or two and then pull them out.
Does that bench have that caliber of hitting 100, the magic number?
I don't know. They're pretty consistent tonight, 26, 25, and 25. So if they stay on pace, if their productivity doesn't slow down there, we're all good. Raiders starting with the basketball here in the final quarter. Najee Hollenbeck, number 44, one of the big men from the JV team for Toms River North, is in the game. Rebound to Sylvia, nice job. Shortino with a floater. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Dunsack. Upstairs, 3-on-1. Everybody lost it. Ball still on the ground. Looks like a Three Stooges play. Finally tracked down by Petrick.
There might be a little flubber on that ball. It's bouncing everywhere, Casey.
Stolen away, nice steal by Dorn, right in front of us. Loses it, tried to get a little too fancy with it. Almost stolen away. Dunsack's nice swat from behind by Shortino. Inside there to number 34, Elliot Dax, who finishes at the bucket. That's kind of the story of the night there, Eddie, for Toms River East. Play really solid defense and leaves just one additional person wide open.
And the ball's going right into North's hands. They're just playing really well. And the size, that's really basketball. It's a big man sport. And today, this is a perfect example. North, they just have the size over East. They're towering over. They're getting the rebounds. East, when you can't get rebounds, North, they can miss all day as long as they keep getting their shots down. If they do miss, they get another shot.
Dunsack for three. 81-21 in favor of Toms River North.
The real thing you want to see from East going forward is just keep your heads up. Keep playing. Don't quit. Don't get nasty. Don't try to do any fouls that you don't like. East, they really pride themselves on strong pride, strong respect, great character education. East just named a character ed statewide school, and not a lot of schools get to have.
Hollenbeck couldn't finish. Rebound out there to Ryan Goodall. Up top, flips it to Mikey, his cousin, who buries it for three. Keeps it all in the family there. Assist and three-point bucket.
Well, we know how it goes with East and the family. We saw the Lister sisters last year. Now we got the Goodall cousins out there on the court for the Raiders.
Now, a fact East might not want to hear, they just tied the amount of points that they scored in this quarter, then did it all the third quarter.
Dunsack with yet another three. Much to the applause here we're seeing from in back of us from the Mariner crowd, as there's a foul there on Toms River North, the 4:52 mark here in the final quarter. That'll send Nick Shortino to the line.
Now the real big thing you gotta give credit for East is Raider Nation. They've stayed strong so far. They've been having fun out there. And Raider Nation, you think through a very poor football season and so far a very poor basketball season, they've been having great numbers. And really, the school pride, that's something that East thrives off of. And they stay with the team no matter what happens.
Shortino hits both of those free throws. Gets the East total up to 26. Nice drive inside, can't finish. Hollenbeck tried to clean it up and he gets fouled and he'll go to the free throw line.
There's another one of their JV big men. This is number 44, the freshman Najee Hollenbeck.
Yeah, all the regular starters for Toms River North on the bench now, as we've got Hollenbeck, number 44, at the free throw line. Dunsack, number 42. Schlosser, number 22. Colella, number 1. And Baker, number 20. All the JV players in the game now for Coach Caswell's squad. Dorn driving in, can't finish. Rebound to Dunsack. Colella, the future point guard there for the Mariners. We'll get a foul there on Zaire Dorn. That'll be his last play of the evening as Amir Cornier comes in the game. Colella for three. That one no good. Rebound to Schlosser, who threw it away. Cornier ends up coming down with it and flips it over to Goodall. Sylvia back to Goodall, inside to Cornier. Over to Sylvia, long pass to Goodall. Over to Shortino, driving baseline, backs out. Three-pointer from Mikey Goodall. That's true.
We might have our next three-point expert right here. Mikey Goodall, now his second in a row.
85-29 in favor of the Mariners. Stolen away, nice save. Track it down. There you go, tracked down by Tom Zavries. Great defensive play and a foul at the other end. What an incredible athletic play by Ryan Goodall, the freshman, right in front of us.
You see, the Goodall to Goodall. This might be the next Lingat combination you see. So, I guess the real highlight of this game is Mikey Goodall. He's opening some eyes right now.
As Shortino hits that one, Brush will check back in the game for Tom's-River East. Nick Sylvia will sit down. Dunsack out for the Mariners. And it looks like Mike Centino coming in, number 40 for Tom's-River North. Second one true, 85-31. A little over 3 minutes to go here in this all Tom's-River rivalry game. Schlosser driving, can't finish, rebound a Brush. Be a foul on Tom's-River North.
Well, one thing we're seeing in this fourth quarter is the Goodall cousins, Mikey and Ryan, the two dynamite freshmen so far. They're playing like it tonight. We could be getting right now a glimpse of a very, very bright future for the Raiders. We saw last year they had about 4 very good to star caliber players. This season, we know they had Phil Lingat, but with those two guys getting fantastic varsity experience at such a young age, that is definitely going to be beneficial to them in the long run and definitely beneficial to the basketball program for the Raiders.
Yeah, Gabe Camino coming in and Dylan Fagan also in there for Coach Caswell's squad, as he has emptied his entire bench now. All 16 have seen action tonight. Foul there on Tom's-River North with 2:50 to go, and then I'll send number 24, Brad Brush, the 6'2" junior, to the free throw line. And Brush is the first one in.
Brad Brush now 4 for 5 on the night. He's having a good night at the free throw line.
Brush is the second one in as well. 85-33.
I don't think Eddie was able to hear you on that one, but lucky for me, I'm sitting right next to you, Casey. That was one of your better puns, to say the least.
Pleasure to keep you company, Joey. That one's stolen away by Brush. Be a foul on the backcourt. 7-team foul. Should be a 1-and-1. Coming
Casey,
up for Tom's-River East.
I think I might have found the real positive for East tonight, other than Mikey Goodall coming and opening some eyes. They're 14 for 19 at the free throw line, making a good amount of their points. Doing a pretty good job so far. So, something to keep your heads open about.
As Brush hits the first one. Yeah, definitely something there for Eddie, for East here to look forward to, even though that one does not go. 85-34. Gabe Camino with it there, number 21. Into Hollenbeck, trying to go with the left hand. Dribbling in, he's going to draw contact and pick up the foul.
Last time these two teams met, the final score was 85-53. So that's a pretty crazy difference. East starting out pretty strong, and then after the first 5 minutes, North, their speed really it was too much for East.
Hollenbeck gets 1 of 2, 86-34.
And there you have it, folks. North, their now season record for most points scored in a game. Those first and second place games, both against the East Raiders.
Camino going all the way with it, can't finish. Hollenbeck with the rebound. He can't finish. Rush comes out of it with the ball. Cornier over to Goodall. Goodall driving baseline, swatted away by Schlosser. Inbound foul on Toms River North.
So Casey, one thing that you want to start to realize now, both JV teams are back on the court. This is a bit of a rematch of the JV game from earlier, which East, the game almost went into overtime. East won from a free throw.
Yeah, North was up on that, on Toms River East. They were up 37-23, and then we were watching as East kind of clawed their way back in. They ended up scoring 15 straight, took the lead 38-37, and like you were saying, they ended up pulling it out on a free throw at the end of the game with no time left on the clock. "90 seconds left in this one. Schlosser pulls up. Excuse me, check that. That was Fagan pulling up. Goodall going in for the layup. He completes it, 86-36. East having their best quarter here. Already scored 15 here in the fourth. Nice hard take there by Schlosser, and he will go to the free throw line and try to convert a three-point play.
And this JV backup squad from the Mariners, so far from the free throw line, playing fairly well. They're hitting 50% with all 4 of those free throw attempts. Well, now 5, as Ryan Schlosser cuts me off there. They're now 3 for 5 from the free throw line. A nice 60% from your bench. That's not too bad. That's something you really want to see if you're a coach looking towards your future.
Absolutely there. 89-36, under a minute to go here in this one. Goodall to Goodall to Goodall. Swatted away. Tracked down by Baker. Baker to Schlosser. Can't finish at the bucket. Cornier with the rebound. Be a foul on Toms River North that'll send him to the free throw line.
Well, with 26.5 seconds left, almost certain the Mariners won't reach that magic 100 mark like I was hoping for. You got to imagine, no matter which fan you are in the stands, getting to see a 100-point game doesn't happen very often, obviously, and it's something that any fan would enjoy seeing, unless you're over there on the East bench, of course. But they played a dominant game throughout tonight, and aside from the fouls, 9 more so far in this half. It's been, you've got to believe, one of their better games of the season.
So you can see from these two sides, you really see the rivalry between East and North brewing between the two JV squads. Something to look out for in years to come. A rivalry that I don't think is going to be ending anytime soon.
Yeah, Cornier, a sophomore, right at the free throw line. He hits the first one. Second one short, 89-37. Final 15 seconds. Ticking away, under 10 now. Camino a little back behind the back dribble. Stolen away by Goodall. Can they get to 40? Swatted away by Schlosser, and that's how this one will end. Toms River North with a commanding victory over Toms River East. 89-37, controlled it right from the opening tip. And fellas, we see with Toms River East here, they dropped to 3-10, but Toms River North improving to 16-1. And I think every team in the Shore Conference better beware for the Mariners.
The Mariners, what can I say? I said it at the end of the halftime, coming into the half, and now I'm going to say here at the end of the game. As close to perfect of a game as you can get. putting up 89 points and only holding the Raiders to 37, even though it still is the 3 and now 10 Raiders. It's still a phenomenal game here by Toms River North, and now they're going to look forward to, on Monday, February 6th, a little bit down the stretch in the schedule, a game against Central that will most likely be playing for the Class A South crown. So that's a matchup we're going to have to look forward to. And for the Mariners, their confidence is at an all-time high after today's game.
Yeah, way to give a nice preview there, Joey, of a game we'll do later down the road. Eddie, what about Toms River East here? Any lessons they can take from this going forward?
The real thing is that Coach Dempsey, he has to be proud that his team kept their heads in. They fought this entire game. And the real lesson that can be learned is that no matter what the score is at the end of the game, as long as you have your heads up, you're going to be happy. So now East, they're definitely not happy at this exact moment, but in the long run, they're going to look back and they're going to be saying that they're playing against a team that could possibly become state champions. North, ranked number 5 right now by Sports Network, Shore Sports Network. That's really good. So for East to be able to compete, even though the scoreboard might not be anywhere where they want it to be, it's something that you can say, I fought against Toms River North. That's all that really counts.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like we said here with the JV squads, East definitely has a bright future with those good old brothers and cousins. And then Brad Brush and, you know, Alex Dunn, some of those other younger players who will definitely play a big role next year as the Raiders look forward to that, finishing out this season strong and then going into next season. For Toms River North, of course, a lot of excitement coming down the pike. These two teams, though, are going to play their next games on Saturday in the Toms River Showcase right here. East is going to take on Atlantic Tech, and North will play Wildwood Catholic in what should be a pretty wild game between those two squads. Next week here on the TR Schools TV Game of the Week, we're going to head downtown for a boys basketball matchup between Mike Clementi's Central Regional Rams and Kurt DiFilippo's South Indians. Again, your final score tonight from the Pine Bell Arena: Toms River North 89, Toms River East 37. For our producer Chip Phillips, Joey Del Deo, Eddie Wolf, and our entire crew here at TR Schools TV, I'm Casey Kennerkowski saying so long and good night.